All right, let's just recap. The president has admitted that the proceeds of game was stolen from his PHALA PHALA farm in February 2020. But he has denied being involved in any criminal conduct after a case was opened by former spy boss Arthur Fraser, saying the president tried to keep the robbery a secret. He also claims the president was involved in abducting and bribing the alleged robbers. But the pressure is mounting. Briefing the media today, EFF leader Julius Malema, as you heard, said that all the parties except the DA had agreed to bring a motion of no confidence forward in Parliament. The DA previously asked for an ad hoc committee to be appointed to investigate the claims. After the ATM called for the impeachment of the president, the Speaker, Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula, recently also announced that independent panel that would be appointed to decide if there is a prima facie case against the president. To discuss, you heard his voice there, but we're joined in studio now by the ANC's Phule Mabe. Thank you for being with us, Mr. Mabe. So there are a lot of state resources right now investigating the president. SARS is involved, the Reserve Bank, the police, the public protector. Now Parliament, really a lot of the MPs' time and efforts going towards this investigation. Can you not ask the president to spare all this effort and just answer all the questions?
Well, evening to your viewers. From our own understanding and based on what the president has placed out in the public, he has never refused to cooperate with any process, whether it's a process led by Parliament or it's a process led by law enforcement agencies. We are on record as welcoming the steps he took to even volunteer to appear before the ANC's Integrity Commission. This was a display of commitment in transparent leadership on his part. So the president has never said that he will not cooperate with this.
But I'm not talking about cooperation. I'm talking about coming clean and therefore preventing all this searching for answers that is going on.
But remember, it is not the president who is investigating himself. They are institutions of state that are doing that work, whether it's SARS, whether it's the South African Reserve Bank, whether it's the walks and all of that. A case has been opened at a police station. At some point, we learned that that case has since been transferred to the local police station around Wombat, because that is where the PHALA PHALA farm is. So you can't open a case in Rosebank for a crime that allegedly took place in Zanin. You have got to make sure that there is that link with the jurisdiction. Very important when it comes to the Criminal Procedures Act.
But this is all legal processes. I'm talking about transparency. Do you agree the president came in vowing to be transparent on a ticket of integrity as well? Does real transparency, does real integrity hide behind the rule of law, sub judice, investigations are ongoing, so I can't say much, I will cooperate? Is that real transparency?
But you and I are not privy to some of the details that sit with those that are doing the investigations. You and I are not privy to when and how was the president ever invited by investigating officers to give his own version. What you and I and the people of South Africa are aware of is that President Cyril Ramaphosa, in his capacity as President of the Republic of South Africa, has never said that he will not cooperate.
Yeah.
So
but isn't that the point?
Maybe the message that we should be sending out there as being a responsible broadcaster, a responsible, self-respecting political party, is that maybe these agencies that are doing various work around this must act with the necessary speed, so that an impression is not created out there that there could be some evidence that is being shelved and all of that. Encouraged by the commitment that the president already declared to the people of this country, his own commitment to cooperate, his own commitment to make sure that whatever information that is required is unearthed to be able to assist. Remember, just even from the party, you see, it is important that issues like this are also resolved with the necessary speed, because they do have a bearing on the image of the African National Congress, considering that we are talking about the president of the African National Congress, and we are still confident in his leadership and his ability to be able to unite and drive forward the renewal trajectory that the African National Congress has committed to out in the public.
But again, my question is, why do we need to ask for speedy processes? Why do we have to wait for the processes when the president himself can control those perceptions being formed by letting us in, by answering the questions of the media and the public? He's done it before when he was accused of infidelity. He spoke to newspapers, he let us in. Is the party not saying to him, do that again this time?
No, but if we are to really recall here, when these allegations were first made and the case was reported at the Rosebank police station, the presidency issued a statement, which statement confirmed their knowledge of this theft that happened at the PHALA PHALA farm. The president even went further during the provincial conference of Limpopo. As he was giving his political speech, a closing address to that conference, went on to also take delegates attending that conference into confidence. As we went out, we were with him there. As we went out, he did a doorstop with the media and did not evade answering questions around the PHALA PHALA farm. Unfortunately, the issue is playing itself in the manner that it is out there in public. What is then required is to make sure that every effort is made to update the public on the progress that is being made, the information that the president has been able to provide, if such information can be shared without necessarily tampering with the evidence, considering that these are now matters before the police. I mean, when something is being investigated, it means the information that you share takes a different shape. It becomes something called evidence.
Okay, I can't push this much further, but you must agree that there are simple questions that he's not answering. Did he declare the foreign currency? Did he declare that to the Reserve Bank within the stipulated time? Did he know the alleged robbers he's alleged to have helped abduct and bribe? Surely it would be easy for him to say, I have no knowledge of these people. He's never said that. Well,
surely those that need to sit with that information could be already sitting with some shred of evidence on the actual issues. What we will not want to do ourselves as the ANC is to participate on matters of detail, which detail might not necessarily be in our own hands. We have entrusted our integrity.
But surely the president knows if he knows people or doesn't.
But I mean, I don't think it's a difficult thing. I mean, the president of the ANC will be able to answer that.
What did he tell the Integrity Committee and what has happened? What are the processes going on within the party right now?
Well, he met with the Integrity Commission. So this is how we work in terms of matters of process. Once the Integrity Commission has had that meeting, they will process their own reports and then place those before the National Executive. So the National Executive Committee of the ANC is still here to receive that report. Once we've received that report, we'll be able to comment more fully. But what has still comforted us was this president of the ANC volunteering to appear before the Integrity Commission and ultimately doing so. We've issued a statement of the National Working Committee really talking about this point.
But will we, as the voting public, get details of what was discussed?
Well,
will that report be made public?
Once we receive the report, like we've done with all other reports, we will be able to convey that to the public, especially where we know that it does not necessarily tamper, because there are two things here. You've got a matter that is already before the police. So how you go about communicating information that might have even been brought to yourself through your own organizational processes must be such that it does not compromise a legal process and its own fairness. Remember, as a law-abiding citizen, the president himself deserves to be treated fairly like any other citizen.
Yeah. Can you respond to some of the things that were said by Julius Malema today? He said that the RET faction within the ANC isn't applauding Arthur Fraser. In fact, they seem to be a bit circumspect when it comes to Arthur Fraser. And that is because Arthur Fraser is working with former President Thabo Mbeki.
Well, we don't have
an extraordinary claim.
Well, I can confirm to you and your viewers, we don't have an RET faction in the ANC. When we went to the National Conference of the ANC in Nasrec in 2017, one of the resolutions we took was to advance radical socio-economic transformation. This is a resolution of conference. So there is no one section of the membership of the ANC that can claim ownership over a resolution of conference. Yeah,
well, we can call it by another name, but you've admitted before that there are factions within the ANC. Certainly, Mr. Mabe.
I'm not saying there are no factions in the ANC. All I'm saying is that at least the ANC we lead today,
sure,
the ANC we lead today does not have a faction called RET. The ANC has got a resolution on advancing radical socio-economic transformation. That others have decided that they will use this to call their own grouping or advance their own perspective. It's a matter of for another day.
The question was around former President Thabo Mbeki. Is he involved in this at all?
Well, I don't
in your
know.
understanding.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
a claim brought forward by Julius Malema.
But I'm not part of the opposition. You are asking me to account for statements made by the leader of the opposition.
I'm asking you to respond.
Yes, that's what I'm responding. I'm responding that I wouldn't know, because opposition parties, when they call their meetings, they would not call us because we are not part of their arrangement. So if I knew how opposition parties conduct their meetings, how they take their own decisions, maybe I would be able to say, but not aware of that. What I'm aware of, to place it on record, what I'm aware of is that President Thabo Mbeki remains an ex-officio member of the National Executive Committee. He attends all of our NECs, makes contributions, which contributions are contributing towards the renewal and unity of the African National Congress. He came to the National Policy Conference, made contributions that were necessary to be made by the former leader of the African National Congress. So we will always embrace the work being done by President Mbeki to be able to consolidate the unity of the ANC.
Mr. Mabe, we've run out of time. I wanted to ask you about what this could mean at the polls, but I'd really like to ask one more question. Serious claims have also been levelled against the Finance Minister, Enoch Godongwana. What is the party doing about those?
Well, we have not received a formal report as the African National Congress. We have met this through media reports. Now, the ANC is a self-respecting organization. What we do not do, even from a point of view of communications in the African National Congress, we ought to receive reports through the relevant structures. In this instance, it will be through the SGO, if there is a matter that requires to be brought to our attention. Once that is processed, we are then able to communicate the message of the ANC. You know, we see this out there in the press. We have not met as the National Executive Committee or as the National Working Committee to really begin discussing issues in the environment.
Is there any sort of timeline, or does it depend when you become aware of that complaint?
you see, what doesn't happen in the ANC is that the media does not set the agenda for the ANC. See, so we do not respond on issues because, hey, this matters are suddenly out there in the media. We ought to be seen talking to them. Yeah. We'll make mistakes. We have to be seen.
Even if it's a high-profile public official dealing with our public purse.
Well, but I mean, allegations that are being made here have got nothing to do with public purse. So Comrade Enoch, through his own department, has already issued a statement. I'm sure that at the right time, when the ANC has been fully briefed on the issues, then we are able to comment on matters that are out there in the public. For now, we are focused on making sure that all outstanding conferences of the African National Congress sit. I mean, you saw over the weekend we had a conference in the Northwest. They were able to elect their own officials. We are now working with the provincial office bearers to make sure that we could take them to conference next week to conclude the work of the provincial conference. In September month end, the Free State is also expected to go to their own conference. Tomorrow, Comrade Khalima is the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, will announce to the media how we are going to be nominating candidates for the 55th National Conference, expected to sit from the 16th of December. So we're quite busy with organizational work in the African National Congress.
All right. We appreciate your time tonight. That was PHALA PHALA, ANC's national spokesperson.